Good morning, everybody. It's me, Mel from Sacred Earth, and I'm here with a very special guest, Angela Bertone.
Hello, everyone.
And so I'm very excited to have Angela. She's basically an immune system educator in the physical form, promoting the immune system educator in the molecule form.
That's awesome. I need to remember that.
We are going to be here to talk to you guys today a little bit about educating the immune system and about all of this pandemic that's happening right now and some options and tools for you to help you guys out. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'm super excited to hear and to explain to everyone what this molecule is all about in this product, because it's really revolutionary when you're thinking about how our immune systems work. And we have a health food store here full of products, and there's some that help with the immune system, there's some that just give your body's what it needs, but this particular product is different than 100% of everything that we sell in the store. So Angela, go ahead and start by just informing us, what is the transfer factor? What is that?
Okay, let's talk about a little bit, in order for me to explain transfer factor, what the immune system is and how the immune system works.
Great.
Because it gives me a little bit of a foundation to explain how that molecule does what it does. Okay, so we know that about 80% of our immune system is in our bowel, right, in our digestive system. So from the nose really all the way to the derriere is where we need to focus, as well as in the marrow, what the white blood cells do, what their jobs are. Because there's so many white blood cells that it's just like a long list of names I can't remember, right? Like T cells, B cells, lymphocytes, phagocytes, ketocytes, all those different beautiful things. In there's also something called transfer factor, which is the molecule that we're going to be talking about, and why that molecule is so important to the immune system. So what we want to do is we want to look at the body synergistically. How does it work, and what can we do to support the immune system so that it can do its job? And talking about the pandemic that we're in right now, imagine if we all Americans and the globe really had focused on their immune system for the last 10 years or the last 100 years.
Pandemic.
That's right, because we hear this where there are so many carriers or they're asymptomatic. So why is that? That's because their immune systems are doing their job. What is the job of the immune system? It's like Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, all these different people that are on alert at all times, so that in the event a threat happens, then those people respond accordingly. And not everyone responds. Like, you're not going to necessarily have, the Air Force come in if someone's drowning. Right, or out.
Right.
You have the Coast Guard, or
Right.
something else. So your body needs to know who to send when, and then what to do to deal with that issue, and then when to pull back and go back into homeostasis after the body recovers. So the body's job in the immune system is to stay on alert, to recognize a threat, and if it's had that threat before, remember that threat, know how to respond to that threat, to surround it, destroy it, and remove it. Then once it does that, the body needs to go back into rest, repair and rest. With this COVID issue that we're looking at, the reason people are dying is there's an oxidative stress response in the lungs, and the body's killing the virus with oxidation. But then when it stays in that mode and it doesn't know when to stop, it becomes friendly fire. And it begins to destroy the cells actually needed to bring in oxygen to keep the body healthy. That's why some people are asymptomatic, because their immune systems are modulated, they're healthy, they're doing their job. Most of the people that are dying they have an underlying factor, right? They're either obese, they have diabetes, they have heart disease, they have lung issues, or they're a smoker. These extra factors, why are they doing what they're doing? Because the immune system is compromised. So when we talk about the immune system, if we understand what its job is to recognize, respond, remember, in the event that threat comes again, which is what we call immunization. Body that has these antigens or antibodies that it says, oh, we recognize this. Corona's been around for a while. It's just this mutated version of corona is different because every bacteria, every virus, they're going to mutate. I like to give people a visual. So have you ever been where from Louisiana, right? Are you from Louisiana?
I'm from Baton Rouge.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Baton Rouge. We're
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Louisiana. We grew up in the woods outside, playing. Yesterday we were catching lizards, right?
Right.
My grandbabies. So a chameleon lizard is green typically, right? But if you wrap it in a brown leaf, it's going to turn brown. Well, that lizard didn't go, wonder what color this is. Let me see if I can get out my brown coat, and cover up. No, just its immune system protects it from an invasion. Right? It doesn't just looks like by osmosis.
Yeah.
Well, your body's doing that all the time. You have a microbiome on the outside of you. Your skin is your largest organ. You have a microbiome on the inside of you, all the way to the bottom, everywhere, right?
Yeah.
That's your first line of defense.
Right.
So then you've got all the digestion that's breaking everything down. It's going to the small intestines, the large intestines. It's very important to have that there so that it can recognize and destroy before it ever gets anywhere else, right? Mm-hmm. And so when we look at this molecule was discovered in 1949 by Dr. Sherwood Lawrence, Dr. Sherwood. I can't remember which one's first or last name, so I'm sorry.
Lawrence Sherwood.
Sherwood Lawrence, whatever. And his other brother Lawrence.
No offense, Mr. Lawrence, Dr. Lawrence.
Yeah.
Sherwood.
So he's known as the father of transfer factor because they were looking for a cure for tuberculosis and smallpox. And he discovered that women who milked cows did not get smallpox. How was that possible? Cowpox is not transferable to a human. But women who were exposed to cow's milk, colostrum, while they milked the cow were somehow inoculated against smallpox. So when they looked at these two molecules underneath the microscope, they had very similar characteristics. They were so similar, in fact, that when the women's bodies were exposed to smallpox, their immune system, on alert, recognized the similarity. So I come from a family there's 7 of us girls. And we all really look alike, like close up in the face. But I look very different from them. I had blonde hair when I was young. Now it's white. I'm fair skinned. You look more like my sisters than I do.
Oh, funny.
Is it right?
Yeah.
But in town, people would go, there's these group of girls out, these women out in Livingston Parish. Do you know them? I'm like, what group? I already know what they're talking about. But it's my sisters.
Yeah.
You sound just like Kimberly, or you look like this one, or that, whatever.
Yeah.
They recognized how I looked, and it reminded them of them. Right, of my family.
Right.
So corona is a family of viruses, but so is herpes, chickenpox, genital, oral, right? The only difference in those viruses is where they live or where they migrate to. And the body, whenever you've even heard this, the virus isn't really alive. It's taken hold of our cell to reproduce itself, and when we kill it, we don't really kill it. It goes dormant. So the molecule transfer factor that was discovered by Dr. Sherwood is the molecule that holds the memory of anything and everything that the bovine or the chicken has ever encountered in the wilderness or in the domestication. So think about all the insects, the pollen, pathogens, toxins, all the things that they've been exposed to and lived through. Their immune system has memory of that, and that memory is held in a molecule called transfer factor of everything that these animals were exposed to for thousands of years. And you now can take this in a little capsule, swallow it, and you can have, this is what's
like the little blue pill.
Yeah, the red or the blue. It's whenever the scientist at the Science Symposium was talking about how many molecules are in this little capsule. He said there's more molecules of transfer factor in one of our capsules than there are stars in the Milky Way.
Wow.
I was like, oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
But that's how tiny they are, and they're very, very powerful. They help the body. They educate the body to do its job properly. And we don't think of education in a molecule, but think about your brain. It's a bunch of fatty molecules, right? And you have memory there.
Right.
And we don't think anything about them taking this plasma and it having memory.
Right.
Right? Are they doing plasma therapy? Because in that blood is the memory of how it destroyed or overcame that particular pathogen, right?
Exactly.
So this molecule has memory. And they said, but it's never been exposed to whatever, just like the women who milk the cows.
Right.
those women weren't exposed to human pathogens. They were exposed to what the cow had, but there was enough recognition
and similarities
that the body was still able to respond, and they were not affected. They were asymptomatic, no symptoms. Just like we could be a carrier and not know it. Why? If our immune systems are strong enough and they recognize the threat before it ever multiplies and becomes a toxin to the body, it can kill it and get rid of it. You never even know you had it.
So the it's not necessarily the virus that will make you sick and die, really. It's more that your immune system doesn't do what it's supposed to do, and then that's kind of what
the toxins that happens, or the body's response to the invasion. Right? So let's take a immune system that's not modulating the response, the full scope of things. Let's compare it to our let's say our Air Force, right? We call in air support, and they have the wrong coordinates, and they're like, stop, friendly fire! You're killing us.
Yeah.
Right. We don't want to be at war, but your body's at war.
Yeah.
Right. So when your body responds to this particular virus, it's actually oxidative stress that the body's using to kill this particular virus, or to remove it to surround it and get it out of the body. The body's going to have inflammation. It's going to have fever. Why is it doing that? Because certain things can't live in certain temperatures.
Right.
So the body's elevating the allowed temperature through your endocrine system so that it can escalate the temperature up to, whatever, 104 degrees, whatever this virus can't live in, and then it kills it. But when the oxidative stress doesn't pull back, then it begins to destroy the very cells it's trying to protect. Right? So we have collateral damage.
Gotcha.
Right? And if there's enough collateral damage, we die.
Right.
So it's not just in recognizing, it's knowing how to respond. How do we, if you think about what a pimple is, what a cyst is, what a tumor is, it's the body surrounding whatever the invasion is in an attempt to isolate it, destroy it, and then remove it. And then repair, and then go back into homeostasis while being on alert. That's a big job. That
is a big job. That's a lot of work. I don't think I realized, I know that the immune system does a lot of work, but when you put it in that perspective, it's more comprehensible. Everybody's looking for vitamin C and zinc right now, all of these ingredients or minerals, vitamins, in order to support the immune system. This molecule is exactly like that in that form. It is something that supports the immune system. It's not something that's going to cure you. The vitamin C doesn't cure you. It simply gives your body what it needs for antioxidant support.
And think about your vitamin C being like a maybe ammunition in the gun of the army.
Oh yeah, right? Sure, yeah.
Because remember the COVID is going to do oxidative stress. But then we need antioxidant to come and calm everything down.
Right.
So vitamin C, glutathione, right? Your body makes glutathione. We have a product called glutamine prime. Those are amino acids that the body uses to create its own glutathione so that it can respond.
It is one of the legs, I like to think of it as.
Absolutely.
That gives the immune system something to stand on and to work with.
And I want to make this point too, because we're talking about the immune system, what the immune system does.
Right.
We want to make sure that we are honorable and with integrity explain that we're not claiming that transfer factor is going to heal or cure or treat anything, right? What we're saying is we want to support this system called the immune system, and we're using these products to support. So
what can cause our immune system to not function properly?
Think about our nutritional environment. Insecticides, pesticides, herbicides, preservatives, and not having proper nutrition or proper digestion, right? If you're eating good food, but you messed up your microbiome because you've maybe been on antibiotics that destroyed good and bad stuff, right? Maybe you've eaten a lot of preservatives that have killed a lot of the good stuff that you need in your body. We're constantly destroying it, and we're aging. I know we don't look at that we're aging, but we're aging. That means our body's not doing it as effectively as it used to. Once you've been compromised, it needs to be restored. So think about this. Think about a healthy person, no symptoms whatsoever, but all of a sudden you go through an emotional trauma or a real stressful time, don't know when that would happen, and all of a sudden your immune system is compromised, and the viruses that are bacteria that's already in your body, that's been there for a long time, all of a sudden begin to peek out their ugly head, and you become symptomatic. How is that possible? Because outside sources and aging has now caused, in a combination, has weakened your immune system. So keeping your immune system strong is very important, because that is your line of defense. And not only does it defend you, it helps repair you and bring you back into homeostasis, which is rest. So you've got to do what's necessary, and we hear it all the time. You need a synergistic approach. We know we need sleep. We know we need water. We need proper nutrition. And people even are now saying pray and meditate. Why? Because stress will just plummet your immune system, right? Because stress, whatever it's an invader. It doesn't have to be a physiological invasion. It can be an emotional invasion. I actually, when I purchase supplementation for my body, I look at it no different than I do my food bill. Right? I'm going to go pick up my groceries. I'm going to get my fresh produce. I get that weekly, right? All the different things I'm going to buy. I have a budget for that, and I put into my budget supplementation. Why? Because it's my food. So in addition to supporting the immune system, we do have products that support the health of the heart, the health of the kidney, the bladder, and the urinary tract. We have products that support your hormonal balance for men and for women. So we have lots of support products that you can go into to y'all's website. The customer can look at everything. They can contact us. We want to link arms with them and help them to get educated on these products. And people have asked me, like, well, how come I've never heard of this? Right? Well, it took 21 years for us to learn that washing our hands was a way to help ourselves to not get disease. That's true. It took 20-something years.
Dang, I didn't know that.
Yeah, go look it up. Like, this guy, they thought he was crazy because he thought, well, what do you mean you have little aliens on your hands that's gonna attack us? They're like our enemies. But we now know that's like common sense now to wash our hands. And we're even though it's common sense, we're talking about it on the news. It's common sense to support your immune system. It's all over the news. Why? Because we now see how much we're not doing. Right? So how is it that this company could be around for 21 years? The knowledge of this product has been around since 1949, right? But yet we don't hear about it. How is that possible?
Well, I have some theories.
Yeah, I'm sure we do, right? I have the theories of why that we haven't heard. But this product is in your physician's desk reference. And for 21 years, we really, actually 2 years ago, a major change happened at For Life. And that major change was a young woman in the heartland was in the hospital, and she was dying. She had become, is it called sepsis? When you're, okay, if I say that right, because I'm from the South, I can make up words. But she became very ill.
Septic.
Is it septic? Okay.
Septic?
Whatever, her organs were shutting down. She was given 3 days to live. And she was infected with E. coli from a surgery where they punctured her colon, and she was being poisoned. And so as a last resort, this product was shown to the doctor. It's in your physician's desk reference. Please let us use this product, because her immune system could not fight, even with all the antibiotics. It was still not. It was too weak to do its job. They introduced this into her feeding tube, and within 3 days, she was recovering. Her immune system kicked in, and she was able to fight this off. And they said she would not recover. Well, she's an amazing, beautiful woman who's doing great, right? Did transfer factor heal her? Absolutely not. Her immune system was supported enough to where it was able to kick back in and do the job. Her family had already ordered her funeral spray. That's how dire it was. And so as a result of that, some people in California found out about this product just through social media, and it changed her life. And as this domino effect happened, it happened to so many of us who had been suffering with not having the proper knowledge, the proper education. We were doing everything our doctors were telling us, but we were suffering with what we call disease. Well, this educational team arose, and all of a sudden we all began to link arms and tell me your experience, and tell me your experience, and tell me your experience. And now we have a group of like 20,000 people on one team, if you will, of people saying, tell me your story. Tell me your story. So we share those stories. We share our education of our life, and we want to educate people in the product so that they are not, so no one's making a false claim or anything like that. We just want to support the immune system in this molecule called transfer factor that's here available right here in your store. It's also available on your website, right? People can have access to this. It's a support product so the body can do its job. We don't treat symptoms, we don't diagnose, we're not trying to replace your healthcare, any of that. We're just educating you.
And on the website, it's a quite extensive website. You can visit ours. I'll have it in the link below the video. But there's quite a few products, and you guys have vitamin C with transfer factors in it.
Yeah, I think so. I read that to make sure, because I know we have vitamin C, but I'm not sure if that's one that has it mixed in there. Okay.
So check the website.
Because we have so many products that do have, that's a support product, like we talked about a while ago for the heart. Like I know we have cardio, it has transfer factor in it. I know that for sure because I use that one. But I use vitamin C, but I just think of it as vitamin C, so I can't remember. And I just would rather them look to make sure. But on the website, you guys can get wholesale pricing through Sacred Earth and not have to pay retail, but we have retail here in the store. Why? For convenience sake, right?
Because people run out, or oh, I didn't realize I was running that low on it, or oh, I started getting a little sniffle, or I started getting a little something, and so they're taking 5 or 6 a day, and so they're running out before their next shipment comes in. And so we like to keep it here on the shelf. And for new customers who haven't tried it, because James and I do a lot of like wellness consultations here, and we just help people figure out what supplements they need. And so, we have the products here on the shelf for that convenience factor. But yeah, you actually get a discount and go through wholesale. We don't have to carry it in the store, and you want to just get it delivered directly to your home or office or wherever you get your deliveries done.
Yeah, so you can buy it in the store retail, you can buy it online wholesale, and then you also can join and become a member like a Costco's or a Sam's Club,
and it's only $25.
Yeah,
it's so cheap.
It is.
It's crazy. And what do you get when if you wanted to become a member?
If you become a member and you pay $25, but this month, just so you know, there is a special. Anyone who purchases a certain amount, and that it'll show you in your checkout in your cart. But a certain amount your membership is free. So the $25 is waived. And any first order for a new member, the shipping is free. So that's pretty good, and that's for forever. That the shipping is free for your very first day at the time that you enroll the first purchase. But on the website, when you become a member, you have access. You don't have to utilize it, but you now have access to like a flexible shipping plan, right? You can change it. You get reward points for that.
Kind of like an auto ship.
Kind of like an auto ship, but it's way more flexible. That's why we like to call it a flex ship or something. It's actually called a loyalty. But because you're loyal to yourself, and you're purchasing your products on a regular basis, on a monthly basis, setting that up, then you can get reward points where you can get free products. You can get a free product of the month. You can get bonus as in dollars. So there's different things that you can do, and you can share it with your friends and actually help them become a member and be rewarded for that if you want to. So we like the fact that you can purchase wholesale without becoming a member. We like the fact that you can buy it retail when you run out, you just want to run to the store. And we like the fact that if you want to be a member, we give you extra perks and you get a deeper discount above and beyond wholesale once you purchase a certain amount.
Wow, that's great. So yeah, go check out the website then. We'll have the link below for sure for that. I do have a couple more questions for you. You were going to go into the filtration as well.
Yeah, I think that's important because some people are lactose intolerant and some people can't eat eggs. And so they're worried about, well, oh my gosh, it comes from colostrum and it comes from eggs. Well, I can't take that, they'll think.
Right.
Well, I haven't met anyone so far that's the case. And the reason is we filter it with something called microfiltration. So anything less than or equal to 10,000 Daltons. So that's something that weighs less than a snowflake. And if you put it in a visual, imagine a giant colander, and you've got like a big giant melon, and you've got a grapefruit and an orange and a lemon and then a grape and a blueberry, right? We're after the blueberry. We're after that little tiny, tiny molecule that's so itty bitty that you have to microfilter it. So all those other constituents of the colostrum / egg yolk, depending on which one you're utilizing, just filters right through, so you don't get those proteins. You don't get those molecules. You only get the little tiny molecule that we're after that is responsible for transferring knowledge.
When you get on the website, there are a lot of products. What if somebody was going to start today with the pandemic that we have happening, and they were going to try to begin something to start with what would be the three or four levels? Like 1 for sure,
Okay.
2, that kind of thing.
Well, if in a perfect world.
In a perfect world.
In a perfect world, I would recommend that we address the whole immune system. I would recommend digestive enzymes. I would recommend the glutamine prime, vitamin C, classic transfer factor, and Prio. So you said we had prebiotics in the store. In our prebiotic, it's a prebiotic, a probiotic, and transfer factor all in one delivery system, so it doesn't open until it gets in the bowel where we need it. So those products, classic transfer factor, glutamine prime, Prio, vitamin C, and digestive enzymes. Why? Because of all the different things they do together. So what if finances are an issue and I can't do anything else? I would have a toss-up between Prio and classic transfer factor. And that's just a start. There's so much knowledge that we'd like to give you, but in such a short period of time, that what I would like to say to your audience is call the store or come in and see them so they can help educate you on all the different ways and how you can kind of graduate, because we do have a trifactor molecule, transfer factor, which is more powerful than the classic. And then we also have one called Plus, and it's even more powerful. So why do we have a graduating system? Depending on how strong or how weak your immune system is, as to how your individual body's going to respond. And some people respond, well, we know it works within 4 hours. Within 4 hours, people have actually said, is this a placebo effect? No, in science, it literally works in 4 hours. That's what's happening. But everybody's body may respond different. And so we don't want to, say, oh, well, this is going to happen to you. We want to say, listen to your body and let's go slow, because your immune system, we don't know if there's something in your body it's going to attack. We don't know if you're going to have detox, or you're going to go, oh my gosh, I feel great. I've never slept like that before. And in the last 20 years, I had an elderly man, for 20 years, he didn't sleep normal. And after just being on just classic for a very short period of time, he calls his son and says, I am sleeping. Is this possible? Well, guess what? Your immune system can put you back into homeostasis and help your body balance. So it's not a sleep aid.
No.
We're not saying it's a sleep aid.
No.
We're saying it supports your immune system.
And everybody's body's going to react differently when the immune system is operating functionally.
That's what I'm trying to say.
So then please come and see us here at the shop at Sacred Earth Co. in Mandeville, Louisiana, or give us a call, and James and I will be happy to talk with you about what other things you're on or what functions you have going on, and see which products would be the best to fit your budget and your time and all of that. I really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to share that you could think of?
I don't think so. I mean, unless you provoke me with a question, but thank you for having me. Thank you for putting this information out. We need an army of people to educate, and I am so grateful that you are getting this word out. It's one of my prayers, one of my dreams, to see a revolution, and I know that's the same way you feel, like Miss Mama Earth here, right?
It's true.
We want to see people. We want to revolutionize the way we care for ourselves, and so it's really. My mother used to say all the time, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And so if we can help our bodies, just support our bodies and support one another, link arms and support one another, then we don't feel alone. We feel empowered, and we feel like we don't have to have all this stress because we're walking in a way that we know by science is helpful.
And so I think that right now in this time when we're all in need and together, it's just important to know that we have each other, and that the more that we can stick together, we can overcome this. But it does require our own personal responsibilities to take care of ourselves and our bodies and our immune systems first, so that we can help others and continue to reach out. And so cheers to this army of growing members, and I'm so excited. And I think about pharmaceutical companies. They've got armies and droves of out selling their products. So, why not have, help your friends, help your neighbors by letting them know about this and this product, because it's truly amazing. I've been on it for just a little personal, my personal story with it. I've been on it for, God, 5 months now? Has it been that long?
I think so.
Wow. And I have atopic dermatitis, and you can probably go back and look at some of my older videos and stuff, and you'll even see it popping up on my face. And it's amazing because while I've been avoiding gluten, which is my main thing, it does come about through stress as well. And from taking the product, I stopped taking it 1 month, and it started coming back, and I was itching, and I was getting my little spots all over. And so, immune system, your skin is part of your body. And so I don't really feel so much happening on the inside or energetically, really. All of my issues come out of my skin. And so, I don't know if you can tell, but my skin looks great.
It does. Shingles for years, right? And this is not about treating shingles.
Right.
It's about why does shingles come out? Well, it used to be chicken pox that's now hibernating along your spinal column, along your nerve endings. Mm-hmm. And when the body becomes compromised, it says, oh, you mean we can come out and play now?
Right.
And they just wake up and do their little thing.
Yeah. So
it's not about trying to make you feel better. It's not about treating a symptom. Mm-hmm. It's about helping your immune system be strong so that in the event or when you experience emotional trauma, world life stress, mm-hmm. another pathogen, another antigen. They create an antigen. Another pathogen, a toxin, anything that's an attack, your body is ready. Right? So everybody has stuff in their body that's dormant.
Right.
So we just don't want it to wake up until you die.
Yeah. So basically, I like to think of it as like immune insurance.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Yeah.
So, well, thank you so much, Angela, for your time. It's been such a pleasure as always. And thank you guys for joining us. We love you. Stay well and stay healthy and keep each other close at heart and close in mind. Bye.
Bye-bye.